Hello and welcome, this is the Electrician's Van Tour. I did this video about 2 years ago when I just got the van, I just racked it out, I did all the mod cons that I wanted to do. 2 years since with wooden racking, let's run through the process of how much it deteriorated, how much I've had to fix, what's gone wrong with the van itself, run through the storage because a lot of people are searching racking for electricians or storage or what we carry in the van. So I'll run through all that with you, what we've done and what's gone wrong. I'll run through a few of the things that we bought. So I upgraded the alloys, got some Ford alloys and black ones. A bit more difficult to show you in here, but I got the Ford grille, which you don't think you can buy anymore. I put a splitter on it. I had Rhino roof racks that I turned around and shaved down, sprayed black so they fit a bit nicer. And then at the back, I added the spoiler. It's glued that on with a bit of, what was it? Tiger seal, whatever? Yeah. An alarm system fitted, but I won't show you that. We've got a deadlock located here and a deadlock located here on the sliding door. And then on the driver's door as well, it's had the whole key lock changed to a titanium plate so it can't be twisted and broken. So, first of all, we've got ladders. We've got two sets. We've got a little set called Chris. We've got a big set, which are the little giant ladders, which are fantastic. They fit lengthways in. This is obviously Ford Transit Custom Limited. Ford Transit Customs, it will always fit this way. This is an IKEA unit that I obviously got from IKEA, sprayed it black. We screwed that back to the bulkhead and we attached little bits of metal that I cut down. So as you can see, over the years, this wasn't intended to be rattled around and banged around and whatnot, but it's done its job. 2 years, happy with it. I think it was about 40 quid. The racking itself, I ran LED strips in here, which you can see there, which are run here, here and here to illuminate that, because obviously at winter it is very dark. I'll run you through the lights we've done the ceiling as well. But what we keep, this is our odds and sods. So Adam, come closer. We've got our cable ties, we've got our drill bits, we've got lasers, fuses dade, earth clamps, heat shrink. This is the sort of stuff that's a bit too big to go in our Stanley boxes, and but you know, accessible enough that we use quite on a regular basis. Cable up top, which was a really bad decision. I'll run through that in a minute. Then we've got all our stackers. Eye crimps, Wago boxes, big screws, Wagos, flexible cable clips. We've got stuffing glands, we've got fuse box stuff like strips, blanks, knockouts, grommets, that sort of stuff, fire grommets. Hoover's normally kept under there, which is the small 18 volt battery one by Bosch. And we normally keep our rubble tubs under here now as well. But this also has an LED light, just because why not, while I was doing it. To do the LED strips in here, very, very simple. Took one of these lights out. They're all 12 volt. I ran them down, and in here is behind this tissue that I pushed in place, cloth, to stop the squeaking on the bulkhead. It has a 5-way Wago or Ideal, I can't remember. So it was just a positive and neutral feed, positive and negative feed. God, I got shouted at that last time. Brought it down, and then it's literally just stuck on individual ones. Very easy, very simple. It's linked across each terminal, and then when the bulb goes back in, it bridges it across and gives us the connection. There's probably better ways to do it, but that's how I did it, and it's worked ever since. We've got some Milwaukee pack out boxes, which are a new addition to the van. That's just for bringing our materials in and out, or occasionally carrying some tools in. If we don't have all our tool bags, we have our Velocity Pro Gear storage cases which has our plug screws, open grommets, longer pins, cable clips, that sort of stuff. Okay, a few things I was not mentioned as well. There's rubber matting down in the van. That was off Amazon, about 30 quid. Massive mistake putting the cables on the top shelf. First of all, it's very heavy, and the amount of times I've had to redo the screws, they put some self-tappers in the uprights of the framework of the van. They've come loose, they've squeaked, because it contains a lot of weight. What I wish I'd done is made myself a big drawer, almost like a van vault one, but the small slider ones, that would pull out, where we could still stack stuff on top, but all the heavy drums were on the base of the floor, not on one side and not high up. So if you're doing your van racking, big drawer for the cable. Obviously we need to get some good runners, some good strong runners. I think that would be way more beneficial. So the next time I do the van around, that's what I'm going to do. Let's jump to the back of the van and I'll show you what we got. Hello. Right, so what we got this side. This is one solid piece of wood racking that was taken out of my old van. Up here, very simple stuff. We've just got PPE, goggles, ear defenders, masks. We've got a dade, we've got the battery charger, we've got big wipes. The stuff that you sort of use quite often, which is nice, accessible, that sort of stuff. Down here, we've just got normal storage boxes from B&Q. Not everything's in its right place, as you can see. It's plastic, it's been smashed over the years. We've got whisker boxes, we've got light bulbs, we've got data points, we've got what would should be pendants. I mean, if Adam looks in there, you can tell that's not just pendants, and the box is on its last leg. I made all this out of plywood. I think it was 12mm ply. and then I made little knockovers to hold it in place. It's worked well. It's lasted 2 years. Would I recommend anyone doing this for a 2-3 year period and switching it over? Yeah, it's worked great for me. These cost a couple of quid each, and it was a great little asset for stuff that you want to keep on the van with a bit of stock, like switches, sockets, stuff that you would use as call outs or small jobs. Obviously the bigger jobs, rewires, you'd just be buying it in bulk and having it in a separate box. This has worked fantastic. And then if we come over to this side, this is one of the things that I'm most proud of that I built. This was 18mm ply, I think it is. It took a while, it did. I had to do box by box, section by section. So if I take one out here, it's literally 3 uprights that were the right measurements that I used self-tappers to connect to the framework, and then did I think I put the first few in and then just used a jig to go up and just put some runners in so the boxes can slide in and out. They're very accessible. We used to have them all stacked on top of each other and clipped, which was an absolute pain when you wanted one in the middle. You had to move a few. But we normally put our most used boxes here, our less used boxes over there by Adam, just because this is way more accessible. Starting with the lights, it's exactly the same process I used at the front. This is just an LED strip that you can buy. I think it was off of eBay or Amazon, and it literally just linked directly into the light. What I did here, there's some Wagos that has been sprayed black, which links through to the backlight. As you can see here, I never even finished it off with the cables dangling. And over the time, with moisture in the van, the lights start to drop. I didn't even notice that until Adam just pointed it out. It's a great addition to the van. You can see how bright it is in here, especially when it comes to winter time. You go to the van at night, you can see exactly what you're looking for. It's great. But over time, the ones I've purchased, you can get them in rails now. You can get them in proper ones that fit to this. I think it's just 12 quid. Did the job. 3 years on, 2 years on, whatever it is. No complaints here. Just need to put a bit of CT1 back up, it should do the jobby. Well, back door, this back in the day had loads of DIN rails on it. I had full RCBOs on it. Did I say it worked? No. These have been sat here for years. I barely ever used anything of this. It was a great idea at the time and it looked fancy for the other video. But when you have the back doors open and it's raining, we're gonna get water ingress into the top of the breakers, which is a no-no. Realistically, I'm just gonna pull these off. Big wipes dispensers, great idea. We need to transfer, one of them actually snapped the other day because I slammed it and it hit the ladder or whatever it was. But we normally have one of the big wipes tubs in the top here, which works a treat. It's accessible, it's out of the way. You don't want to get damaged by the rest of the stuff in the van because it's only plastic. Kneeling mats, and we've got a pad saw on here for why not. We jump to the other door now. Left door, which is one of the main asked questions from my last video, is the sleeving dispenser. This was just made from literally 290-degree elbows of conduits, 20mm conduit, drilled through with bushing couplers, screwed it back to the wood, and literally then put some screws in it and sprayed it black. It's worked a treat. It has wobbled a bit, but it has lasted for what is a couple of quid's worth of materials. It's worked wonders over the years. And a lot of people also asked about the lining on the back doors. I just rejigged this, cut it out myself, measured it. It's come very loose. A lot of the screws have fell out, as you can tell over the years. If I haven't kept up to date with screwing it all back together, it does start to fall apart. We've got 2 Wearer tool bags, that's got uni lights in, that's got radios in, and then we've got our work mats. This is just a simple ladder hook from B&Q. We roll the work mats in, we tuck them in place, and the dusty stuff stays out the van. Next we've got the van vaults. So these are van vault sliders. I have 2 of them, as you can see here. If you're gonna do van racking and you're gonna empty your van out or do it from fresh on a new van, stick these in first and get it right. I wish I had split my van vaults apart. I wish I had this little gap here that I keep materials or long bits in, occasionally a brush. I do know how to use a brush. I wish that had been down the center so I could have accessed 1 vault from each door, because I actually have to open both doors up to access 1 vault because it's sort of in the central, and it would have distributed the weight a little bit more because these are heavy. You need to be really mindful and careful of when you're drilling down into the base of the vehicle, you're not hitting any pipes, any electrics, anything like that, because it's a minefield. It's difficult to fit, and I have done other videos on fitting them, but you can do it if you take your time and you're patient. Left van vault, well, I'll just show you some of the stuff that we sort of keep day to day. So we haven't really tidied it. This is sort of as is, but if I keep going back, it shows how deep they are. We do organise them every now and then. We do keep the most used power tools in one side, batteries in the other, this, that and the other. Obviously everything is taken out at night time and kept in a safe location because we don't leave any tools in the vehicle. But that's sort of what we keep in the van vault. I can show you what's in the other one, but it ain't much different. Yeah, we carry quite a few tools around. Probably too many, or stuff like that. But it's a great asset to have in the van if you want to keep your tools secure and safe at night time or in the day or on building sites. If you're just parking up for 5 minutes to get a pasty, use one of these. And then last but not least is the roof. So on the top here we have the Rhino, I think it's the Pro tube, which has a lining in it, so conduit and trunking or plumber's pipes don't get scratched and damaged. That's a great asset. These are the little giant ladders, the Hyperlight, which I made a joke recently, which is ironic because they're very heavy. On top of that is the Rhino ladder clip things, which I've had for years and years and years. If you do use the ladder quite a lot, I'd definitely invest in getting some. I think they're about 40 quid I paid from CEF years ago. Fantastic piece of kit for getting ladders on and off, very quick and easy, and you can have a key to lock it in place as well, so don't have anyone walking off with £600 pair of ladders in the middle of the night. So that's ideally what we carry, what we keep in stock on the van, and we obviously got our tool bags in here as well, what we cart around. My bag, the MB100. But the difference between wooden racking that you do yourself, solid wooden racking that you can get from a company, or you can go to the metal, which you can go Sortimo or BotSmart. BotSmart Sortimo, to my knowledge, you're looking at 4-5 grand for a complete racking system, which is fantastic. It's built for purpose, built for use. It comes with storage boxes that clip in. I'm not interested in spending that amount of money, even through YouTube, to try and do it, because it just doesn't interest me. I prefer the wooden stuff that you can chop and change to suit your needs for different tools that you purchase, different hoovers that you get. We do ladders, all that sort of stuff, because there is a system now where you can get these ladders that actually clip to the roof, which is a great idea. But the amount of how tall I am and Adam is, the amount of times we crawl in and out of the van, I'll just scalp myself, which isn't ideal. But I was a couple hundred quid in. I think it was 250 quid for all the wood and the spray paint, because we sprayed it all black. Wear a mask, I didn't, to get that finished look, because it does look nice and neat and tidy. Overall, 2 years, 250 quid for the van racking, and every now and then replacing a few L brackets and a few self tappers to retighten or refix stuff to the thing. It does squeak a bit. That's what your radio is for. You just turn it up, you can't hear it, or get Adam to sing for you. Beautiful voice. But yeah, any questions or queries, drop it down below. I'll see if I can answer it, or if not, I can put it into another video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Very close to the 100,000 subscribers. Delicious, thank you, and good night.